I'm on video anytime now.
It said you was live, but
Yeah, not the video's downstar. We're popping at the bar radio here with Ace Hood. As you can see, he's already at the bar because he got some Ciroc. But I got to say, we just seen Ace Hood, and real genuine dude. I salute you. I salute you. Like, just your humble and stuff. I appreciate that. We need more artists like you. That's it. At the bar.
yeah, at the bar radio.
Yeah.
You already know this the king of Philly, man. At the bar radio, man. You already right.
Where to get lit at? You on your own. Just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act Gilligan on my boat, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always trippin'. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimpin'. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my bro that came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. Yeah. Alright.
Hey, Tuna, you made this?
I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act Gilligan on my boat, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always trippin'. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimpin'. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my bro that came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back.
CP3, how many times do you ask that question?
It's been a few times lately.
You just be like, where your bitch at?
Yeah, sometimes you start asking me, where your bitch at?
What if he asked you that?
I ain't got one, so
But I'm saying, if you have one,
Would you be offended?
nah. Ask me where she at, where she supposed to be at.
and see, that's not what the song is really talking about.
I know, but that's what I'm gonna say to that nigga that ain't for my bitch.
Oh, okay. What if he meant they like the song?
What do you meant it like how you meant it?
Right.
He don't have that skill, though.
Oh,
Can't
how
take
do you know though? This is a hypothetical.
This has
hypothetical
been
situation.
tested before. I told you I've had folks that they saw that they had a female, in a certain situation, and
Here we go.
I'm just saying, you asked, I'm just saying, it's happened before.
Okay.
Man, proud and true. Test
Hmm?
USDA choice.
You know what? These conversations get worse and worse as the weeks go by.
I already know I'm not happy about you say.
Yeah. So we got a really short amount of time because we started real late because of some technical difficulties.
Black people.
Yeah, pretty much.
What?
Um, these people wanted their money and I didn't want to pay them, so they won.
This sounds like somebody came up in here trying to strong arm.
They did. They strong going to be on the internet. It was like,
Don't get me started.
they was like, do you want your show to stream today? Pay us what you owe.
Oh wow. Real, we talking about inflation. That's not talking about that.
So
My truck takes premium. We don't talk to me.
so CP3, we're gonna do the sports and stuff probably after because the guest is gonna call in 30 minutes.
Alright.
But something we gotta talk about.
Uh-huh.
So as I was coming home from work, something was put in the after bar chat. So basically in the metaverse, a young lady said that she was sexually assaulted virtually, right? Um, it's kind of weird.
Yes.
Definitely strange. Um, and you had said, and I think you were saying that you had heard about the story because it happened a while ago.
Yeah. In February, I think this is when that was mentioned. It may have happened in January. I don't think it was actually like put out there until February. But um, for those who don't know, the metaverse is a virtual reality platform where you can have an avatar and you can live your life just like you normally would as your avatar in this new world, this virtual world. The parent company of Facebook, so we know who that is. I'm not really going to say his name right now, but that's who has created the metaverse. I've actually had someone recently tell me, "Oh, you should look to get a job in the metaverse." And I'm like, "What? People are doing this?" But apparently so. You're laughing, but like this is the real thing. They're like having people work. I mean, we're a lot of people working virtually anyway, but they're doing it through the metaverse. And I was like, "What? That I can't wrap my mind around." So I don't think that's good for me. Not yet.
So instead of going to a 9 to 5,
You would log onto your computer, go into the metaverse, and then you would do your 9 to 5 in that. But I've done the work from home thing anyway, virtually. So
would you still be getting paid regular money?
yes. But I'm wondering if there's like either like a choice because you might get paid in crypto.
That's true.
So I'm not really sure how that works, and because I'm not sure, I was like, no, that's okay.
Anybody really? I just kind of like a plot to the Matrix.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why I was like, I would decline. But with that said, that we know that people kind of sexually harass each other like on the regular internet, right? And that is an issue. Bullying, sexual harassment, things like that. And I'm gonna tell y'all a story about a recent issue I had. But this is now virtual reality. So it's a little more personal, a little more intimate, a little it's closer to real than the regular internet that we have been using. So this lady said, what did she say? Like 5 or 6 guys?
Yeah, she was gang raped.
Yeah, they were like fondling her, but they have had these type of issues in the metaverse, like constantly. So I'm like,
not to laugh at it, but
what type of
if he's
person?
groping them in the metaverse, do they feel it or what's going on?
No, but it's not a good feeling to see your avatar getting molested and people saying like, "Don't you like it?" and things like. I would be angry.
Can't you just like take it off?
Would take
the headset off?
No, it's not about that. You're so you just gonna abandon your avatar. Poor little avatar got molested. Oh my god. So you just like, I'm out. Just have her.
This is yeah. To me. I'm like, hold up. This is an alternative
you
reality.
Just leave your avatar like, okay, like that. They're man.
Being rude.
So it's crazy. So there's no. I guess there's no metaverse cops.
But that's the thing. But here's the thing: we didn't have police until what? Until we needed them for something. Somebody needed the police for something. Right? They're gonna have to have something. And then here's the bad part: the response that the company gave. They said, "Oh, well, she should have had."
She should have some switch.
Yeah, she should have had it so that she couldn't interact with people. And then everybody, of course, like they got mad because it's like, you're virtually victim shaming now. It's like
it's crazy because the metaverse is owned by Facebook, right?
Well, the company Meta owns Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and Facebook blocks you for memes. Like even old memes.
You can get gang raped in the metaverse though.
But you can come on ride the train in the metaverse.
And then
that's
what they
crazy.
Said after they said that, they were like, "Well, this is good information."
What?
Right. It's good feedback.
This is terrible feedback. This is crazy.
Because they're like, "Oh, well, now we can learn from this." What?
No one thought about no one had a thought like this could possibly could happen.
That wouldn't have been the first thought in my mind. I'm like, now it's just me that I'm talking about, but you got a team of people. You got all kinds of weirdos out here. So nobody didn't cross nobody, man.
I'm just saying, when the whole trans thing was coming about.
Yeah, nobody didn't think that through.
But we talked about it here about before the whole swimming incident happened and stuff like that. We've had several conversations about that here. Even back on our True Radio days, back down the harbor and stuff, and back at Listen Vision, like we've had these real life conversations. How would that affect sports? How would that affect like my niece going into a bathroom and
in public,
and with a person who identifies as a woman.
But they were dismissing it, and it's like these are real questions, though.
And it's just sad that no one had a thought about how would this affect a woman if horny guys got on there and acted really like teenagers or like guys, and with no morals or scruples. And there's nobody.
No scruples.
And there's nobody to monitor them.
It's a virtual reality. That's the face of reality. Like there's nobody to monitor them. So we have the police and folks know the repercussions in the real world, but they didn't take into account that they need some type of policing going on in there for those situations. I can't believe they don't have some type of monitoring. They monitor everything else. So how you not monitoring what's going on? You're not lying. You got algorithms on algorithms on algorithms to gang rape. Let's stop.
Right. There's so much wrong with this.
Because what if it's a teenage girl in the metaverse and these grown men are doing this to her? Not the 43-year-old mom who it's still worse.
Right.
But it's still bad. But what if it's like the 16-year-old girl who doesn't know?
If somebody chooses, you don't know the reason why people choose to go into the metaverse.
Yeah.
Maybe they've had a traumatic experience in real life, so they're like, let me try this, and thinking that may be an easier situation. That could be triggering to some other traumatic experience they've had. You never know. Like that was an epic fail.
It's a big fail.
It was an epic fail, and I feel like there's a lot of things out here now that it's too many loopholes. There is there's a dating app out right now. The dating app has other components to it. It started just strictly as a dating app, but now you can tag. It's called tag. Now you can go in and stream on there, right? So they are, but it's still very much a dating site. Because I got on there to support a friend who was streaming, right? The messages that I've received, out of control. That's part of the reason why I got off of POF. And apparently POF has the same component too now. So with that said, if I wanted to use these platforms just to stream and that's it, I'm still going to be subjected. Now, you don't have to respond to these people, but I shouldn't be getting some of these messages. Like, are you kidding me?
The way it is. I mean, there's no filter. Folks want to be. Folks want to, feel like they can say anything they want to, but then if somebody says something that hurts their feelings, they want to get offended and want to, get upset. And folks feel like they can, especially on the internet, they can say whatever they want to say. And you see in real life when folks think that way, and when it goes terribly wrong, when you see them getting their ass beat, it's like the virtual reality thing is like they feel like, it's like they're not in the real world anymore. Like they don't understand that, like you said, there is freedom of speech, but there's repercussions to saying certain things to certain people. Some people are going to take it the wrong way, and some people aren't going to have that buffer and not care about getting an assault charge or worse. So I mean, it's it's like the lines have been blurred now. Like nobody knows what's right and wrong. Knows like no one has morals or has a moral compass anymore. Knows when to shut the fuck up pretty much and just chill. But everybody wants to get offended. Everybody wants to be heard, but mostly nobody has anything to say. That's the problem.
But at the end of the day, you have to think about it like this. You have so many people that use the internet, social media, and things like that for the wrong reasons. We literally, in this area, in the DMV area, we had a guy who called himself, well, they called him the shopping cart killer. You guys remember him, right?
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago. He used one of these dating apps to meet these women, kill them, put their body in the shopping cart, and leave them somewhere. That's what he chose to do. So it's very real that people use it for the incorrect reasons. So when you're developing a whole entire platform or, a virtual reality world, that's some of the things you do need to think about as far as policing it.
Well, it's kind of sad because they only think of the positive or the good that their cause is doing because they're so engulfed in it, they're so invested in it. They don't think about the negative stuff or the bad stuff because they already trained themselves to only look at it positively and pushing forward and making things better and don't take a step back and say, well, what are the repercussions of some of these things that we're doing and what are some of the pitfalls that might come with some of the successes that we're looking for? And unfortunately, the public are the victims of that thought process, going through what she's going through. And yeah, it probably could be traumatic, trying to play a video game or whatever, virtual reality, getting physically assaulted, that's just worse than getting done in real life, doesn't matter if it's virtual reality or not, that's still a violation of your personal space and all that other stuff. So, I mean.
And like I said, it can mess with someone's well-being, their mental well-being.
I'm not even in the right state of mind to try to tackle this in a logical way right now.
But the scary thing about it, though, it's going to get worse before it gets better. We have, like I said, because I have nieces. So, I have nieces, one of them 16, and, that's a scary thought for me. And I got nephews too, and and it's always a fear of cyberbullying can mess with a person's psyche as well. Like you go there to escape, and someone's bullying you there, you find no peace, can lead to extreme consequences.
Right.
And
that's a charge now, cyberbullying, because we've had people unfortunately take their lives off of cyberbullying, and that is now something that is against the law. So that's a good thing. But I mean, it's unreal. And like I said, I've experienced some things myself on the way people behave online with especially men who are aggressive towards me and they're a little psycho.
Yeah.
You know, like the fact that yes, I'm thankful that you're able to block people and things like that, but the fact that I have to experience any of that, like I said, I got on this app not for the dating part of it, but and that's like I said, it's just my personal experience. I've showed since we've been sitting here, I've showed CP3 some of the messages. They're really disturbing because I've never even had a conversation with these people.
You got to think about dude for making the band Chopper was just arrested for sex trafficking, and he was using um, the Instagram app. Um, things people use for social media. When social media is one of those tools, when it's used the right way, it's great. But when it's used the bad way, it's almost as deadly as a loaded gun.
There was a woman, because it's not just romantic either. There was a woman who joined a group. She was pregnant. It was a bunch of pregnant women who, like if you needed stuff, this is the group to go to. People would give you stuff for free. They just want to get rid of it, baby stuff. So she was pregnant. She was preparing for her baby. Someone told her they had a car seat, a free car seat she can get. She was like, okay, cool. She met up with the woman. The woman kidnapped her, cut the baby out of her stomach, killed her, and kept the baby.
What?
Yeah, this is her. This was on Facebook. She was in one of those Facebook groups, and that's how it happened. It was like a manhunt for her and for the baby. They found her body. Of course, she was no longer pregnant.
Yeah.
And they hunted down the family, and like it was a big ordeal. This was in the last few years, and it's rather unfortunate that people are using it's just these people always existed, but they just have a new platform to use to do it. So now it's really amplified. And it's unfortunate that,
So
you have a whole new virtual world and nobody's thinking about these things.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Man, we gotta talk about some happy stuff real quick. Cause so shout out to Eric Akuza, shout out to Assad. He's tuned in on IG. Shout out to Songbird Nadia. Um, she actually set this interview up. So she she's a good person. She set up interviews for us in the past. So shout out to her. And we play her video. We'll play her video definitely today. We always show support. So, salute people that are tuning in. We're gonna talk to a hip hop legend, and then and then towards the end, CP3 will get into his
rant.
His rant, his rant and ratchetness.
You always have a rant every show.
It's the precursor to the hockey playoffs. Just had the draft. Nets up right now.
So you chilling.
So yeah,
we'll see the show. It's a long show, so we'll see how long. We'll see how long that I'm chilling lasts.
Right, because there's been times you was like real calm, really chilling, and then it was like bam, like.
Depends on what's going on.
And you know what? And then next thing you know, we insulted McDonald's workers.
Depends on what gets talked about. Depends on who comments, man. Somebody said something that needs to be addressed.
See, here we go. Here we go.
In my own special way. That's what I do.
Okay, Sugarfoot.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh. What? And you got the pinky up drinking a beer now. At least get you some wine and do that.
It's a very different thing.
You and this damn pinky.
I don't know what this is. We at least put a ring on it. I believe it. I believe it. Did you have it when we worked together?
I didn't wear it to work.
Did you have it? Because your persona was
That could be possible.
Probably
Possible.
terrible. Only certain type of people wear pinky rings. No
What type of
offense to
people are
those.
those? What type of people
No
are
offense to people who wear men who wear pinky rings.
Mhm.
However, I do want to say you have to have a certain type of personality.
Oh man.
It is. It is.
I feel
So, so when did you get your first pink ring? After you listened to Too Short's first album?
I got it in my mid-20s, man. You know, I was going through a lot at that time.
I'm sure.
Yeah, doing a lot of
And
things.
so, what made you get a pinky ring?
Something to do.
Something to do.
Yeah, something different.
It's
Everybody,
like pimp life.
everybody don't have one.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I said it's only a certain type of male will wear a pinky
I like
ring.
to be unique.
Okay.
I like to be a trendsetter.
Okay. There you go. You can say some people can say it's trendsetters.
Yeah.
Some people can
Yeah.
say it's pimps. Some people can say it's people who like to be unique.
Exactly. That's what I choose to look at. You can look at it, some people say only pimps wear that. That's cool. I dig it. It's a stereotype.
So were you pimping with the pinky ring?
Good question.
No, I was not.
Did you slap anyone with the pinky ring on? That's what we really want to know.
I smacked some ass with maybe with the pinky ring.
Did you backhand anyone?
So did you have a bottom bitch?
Nah, I didn't get that deep into the game. Nah.
Did you backhand anyone wearing this pinky ring?
Somebody might have caught a backhand a time or two when I might have had it on. But it wasn't on purpose.
Did you pregnate any of your workers?
Not that I know of.
And he always
I gotta keep it professional.
That's always gonna be his answer.
How come he never says it's never a yes or no? Not that I know of.
Situations happen. We know this, man. I can't always account for everything that I busted. Sometimes, you wake up in a strange place, in bed with somebody you don't remember talking to.
Did you sample all your workers?
Nah, most of them. Nah. I took their word for it. Maybe they get tapped.
You took their word for it, aren't you?
So if they said it was good, you just took their word for it. You didn't want to try.
I found out. I didn't do that. Somebody else did.
Then
But what's good to everyone? Was it one person that did the same thing?
But it's certain characteristics.
Okay.
Too Short said in an interview, in his Vlad interview, he said if he wasn't into doing hip hop, he'd be either a pimp or a college kid.
A college kid?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for pimp for Too Short. That's very likely.
I always laugh at that meme that has Rahiem and Too Short. And it was like Rahiem put that woman first, and he looks really like he's struggling.
And Too Short still looks exactly the same.
Yes.
It's unfortunate. But Too Short finally became a dad. He was like 50 when he became a father.
CP3's gonna be like 50.
Well, when he finally finds his.
You got nothing to worry about. You say no stress on it.
Well, we got So CP3, you were saying before the show started, you were saying that some people think that we're always picking on you.
Yeah, it's all good. I feel profiled sometimes. But, it's all in good fun, and it's all good. I don't mind.
So, but do you tell these people? Do you tell these people some of the stuff that you tell us?
They watch the show, man.
No.
It's all live.
And I'm gonna say this: as soon as I get here every day, guys, CP3 picks on me.
Oh.
The reason why he's laughing is because he picks on me every day. He picks. Am I right? 151. No, he picks on me every day.
At the beginning of the show, there's
that's not his
fault.
fault.
Off my color on my screen. I gotta recalibrate things when you get it to the screen.
There's jokes about her color.
He'll make jokes about me cutting people or anything like that. Or
hasn't it happened before?
What, me cut somebody?
Yeah.
Have you cut someone?
No.
Oh.
It's not a common thing for somebody.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
That's what I'm just saying.
But I haven't done anything like that in a really long time.
Slippery slope. alcohol involved too.
Whatever. But I want y'all to know CP3 he picks on people. So please.
I mean,
do
CP3 is not an angel.
Well, we know that. We know he's not an
I'm
angel.
sitting here watching the Nats game, taking my notes for my sports
What?
section.
Oh, that's what you do. That's all you do.
That's all you
I'm
do.
just drinking the beer.
So you don't pick on me?
CP3 believes.
I have no idea what you're speaking of.
I want somebody to tune in to chime in on this. CP3 believes that Budweiser is the king of beers.
Oh,
And that
It is when you broke.
that's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard.
I don't care whether you broke or not. The facts are the facts.
You can get
Next you gonna
$25 for $3. Hey.
next you gonna tell me
clutch when you broke. But
next you gonna tell me Still Reserve is an aphrodisiac.
No, it's good for cooking crabs though.
Still Reserve.
Try it.
But he got mad at me when I bought him.
Wasn't no crabs here. You just bought a 40 still.
I went
But you still drank it though.
Wasn't nothing else in the house. Shut up. AK, any kind, ain't nothing better. It has
You
some
seem
blue
to
ribbon out of
enjoy
it.
it. I thought I was doing a good thing.
Oh my God, Patch Blue Ribbon.
Hey man, times is hard, man. You get 30 pack of that shit for like $10.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
You were really. You were, hey, what's going on? Welcome at the bar.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm 151.
All right.
We got Lady Internet and CP3 in the building.
Hello.
What's going on, man? Hello?
Yeah,
Hey.
can you hear us?
Yeah, can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah. And we got Mr. It's Mr. Rahiem, right?
Yes, this is Rahiem from Grandmaster
Funny,
Flash.
my name is Rakim. We got Mr. Rahiem from the Furious Five, legendary hip hop.
Yep.
Man, I just want to pick your brain because, like, you like a certified OG hip hop legend.
Thank you.
First of all, welcome to At the Bar.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. This is a big interview. I'm a hip hop head. You can't tell, so a little choked up.
It's all good.
That that's such a classic, group and record and stuff. I'm gonna let Lady Antoinette start us off.
Well, you've definitely been a pioneer in this industry. Tell us how you think the current state of hip hop is. That's a very common question, but someone from your era, we really want to hear that.
Oh wow, y'all just want to dive right in, huh? Y'all.
That's all the time because we gonna skip all that because we know who you are. But I want to know how you feel because we usually have artists, the younger artists, up and coming artists, and I want to know how you feel about that right now.
Okay, so the reason why I said y'all want to dive right in is because generally that's one of the questions that's asked, but it's usually not the first one, and it kind of gives us an opportunity to build up to that. But since y'all want to dive right in and stuff, and y'all don't want to give them an appetizer first, here we go. Here we go. This is the main course right here. My take on the current state of hip hop, without placing the blame on the artists, because generally, in most cases, the artists aren't the ones who are in control, with the exception of very few. But generally, the artists aren't in control of the material that they make. They're being, told what the kind of material to make, to create. And if they don't create that kind of material, they're generally shelved. There's a reason for that. One, we're no longer in control of our culture and haven't been for quite some time.
True.
The entities that are in control of our culture are our government, surprisingly to some people, and the prison system. And in between 1989 and 1990, which was a changing of the guards, as it were, for rap music, because so in 1989, the biggest rap song of 1989 was probably "Fight the Power" by Public Enemy.
Yes.
And so as a result of that success and the resurgence of the dormant Black Power movement being resurged after, re-energized after, being dormant since the 60s, for the most part, and it began to, kind of like emerge again in 1989 a little bit, but then to curtail that, a company called Corrections Corporations of America, the largest independent facilitator of privately owned penitentiaries in this country, who have made deals with 48 states in this country to have a privately owned penitentiary erected in that respective state based on the condition that that state could maintain a 90% incarceration rate. If you are an impressionable adolescent who loves hip-hop, and all you hear from your favorite artists probably more times a day than you hear your parents or your teacher, because you keep earbuds in your ear or whatever, and they're telling you that the very blueprint to their success is to stand on a corner, lobby of a building, wherever, and sell Molly, Percocet, dope, coke, crack, you name it. The most influenced demographics of that population by that music becomes that. And that's called the power of suggestion. And the power of suggestion is extremely powerful, but it's very subtle. And so we don't realize that we're being programmed, but the very people who are in charge of what we listen to every day on our local radio stations and our local, television networks are called program directors. And so program directors, dictate whatever the programming for that respective network or that respective station is going to project to the listener. It's called broadcasting, right? Right? Broadcasting is the same thing as casting a spell. Casting a spell and broadcasting are one and in the same. Broadcasting and casting a spell. The only difference between broadcasting and casting a spell is that broadcasting means you're casting a spell on a much larger level. But you're casting a spell nonetheless. And if you think that it's not casting a spell, then you have the wrong perception of what magic is. All right? Casting a spell could be as simple as, placing a curse on someone. When someone says to someone else, you know what, you ain't never gonna be ish. And you know, all that's needed in order for that curse to be effective is for the person whom the curse is that's being placed on to believe it, right? And so uh, advertisers spend millions and millions of dollars every day to influence consumers through broadcasting and through other means of advertisement that we need their products. That's called the power of suggestion. So they're very well aware of how powerful but how subtle it works. Another case in point, you know, if you notice, or if you've noticed over the years, you know, at one point in time, the sale of cigarettes and tobacco products used to be advertised on television, in magazines, and that sort of thing. Okay, so after the last Surgeon General caught heat from not acknowledging the fact that cigarettes, cause lung cancer or whatever on packs of cigarettes where it said, the Surgeon General has determined blah, 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 or whatever. So as a result of that, now the tobacco industry has been regulated by the government, and so they are no longer allowed to advertise the sale of tobacco in any advertising medium, because they full well through the power of suggestion that a certain demographics of the country already smoke cigarettes, but if it were to be advertised, a much larger population would be affected and smoke cigarettes. So, they're aware of how it works. So that's as all of this relates to rap music. Our music is being has been weaponized against us. And people, there's some people who recognize that, and then there's some people who don't. And the only thing that I have to say to the people who don't recognize that or who don't acknowledge that our music has been weaponized against us is, sometimes you could be so deep in the forest that you can't see the trees. When you're so close to something, sometimes you don't see, the effects that it has, or maybe, you might have a tendency of overlooking the effects. But when the effects, are at your doorstep, like, for example, I bet you the majority of your favorite rap artists, who are like top tier today, I bet you the majority of them who have children don't allow their children to listen to their music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet money on that.
Yeah.
If they, especially if they have young children.
Right.
Yep.
Shoot. CP3, you got a question for him?
I definitely appreciate you calling in and appreciate your perspective, because I kind of feel the same way. I'm not an old school guy like yourself. I consider myself an old school hip hop head, but the message that's being put out there and being circulated and being played over and over again is, like you said, it's putting a certain mentality out there. So what can we, the consumer or the artist, do to try to curb it back to some type of message, positive message, and try to get that out there, even though we know the big labels aren't going to promote that type of music?
I think that one of the most effective ways to get back to, some sort of semblance of diversity in rap music would be one, as consumers, as listeners, I think that we have to be, we have to do a better job of vetting, what artists that we support because, and I'm not saying to completely, you know, uh, uh, abandon all of the artists who make this kind of music, but I think that there needs to be some, more of a balance because there was a time in rap music, the late '80s, when rap music was at its all-time most diverse, and there were, a multitude of diverse artists that you could listen to that didn't sound like one another. It wasn't like this cookie cutter, wasn't this cookie cutter mentality where, if you turned on the radio and listened to, you know, the top 20 songs, that every one of these songs sound alike, and the majority of the songs they talking about the same thing in all of them. You had Tribe Called Quest, you had Rahiem, you had Slick Rick, you know you had Salt and Pepper, MC Light, you know uh, it was just much more diversity. But as corporate America became more aggressively uh, uh, involved in our culture, because it's corporate everybody, not just corporate America. Every corporate structure, it's their job to learn culture, assimilate it, and then create their own version of what they feel our culture is supposed to be, and then regurgitate it and sell it back to us. Okay? And so that's what they did. That's what they did with gangster rap when gangster rap was ushered in 1990. Okay? And it there are people who are advocates for gangster rap, and they'll argue me tooth and nail and be like, you just I'm just uh outdated in my thinking, or it doesn't have an effect on the mentality of the youth and so forth and so on. But if you were to do a case study and survey two groups of adolescents, and you put them in two separate rooms, and uh, you play Light FM in one of the rooms exclusively the whole time, and then you play aggressive rap music in another room, and you observe the behavior, you'll definitely see a distinctive difference in the way that they behave. I mean, I even notice it for myself. Like, if I listen to aggressive rap music while I'm driving, I drive more aggressively. Like, if I'm listening to if I listen to DMX or Tupac while I'm driving, like, don't be walking in the street. I might hit your ass. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and so people who don't believe that music and visual images have this kind of effect on us, they just they're either in denial or they just haven't paid enough attention, because visual images and audio frequencies are two things that enter our subconscious mind without our permission. And a perfect example of that is, how many times have you heard a song that you absolutely hated, but because it was in heavy damn rotation on your local radio station, after a while, this song that you absolutely hated, you knew every word to. right?
True.
That's right. That's because of the perpetual playing of it. One, anything perpetually played, eventually, as much resistance as there is, or as there could possibly be against it, unless people just, you know, stand together and vehemently be like, you know what, we're not going, don't play that no more. We ain't listening. Unless people take that stance, they're going to keep playing it, because it's their job. It's the program director's job, uh, because they were given their orders from the corporate entity to program the listener, because they're in business with the radio is in business with uh, uh, with the prisons as well, because they made like like closed door deals with record company executives and radio in 1989, 1990. And that's, I mean, how else would you explain how abruptly the changing of the guard, so to speak, happened in rap music? Because there was no gangster rap in 1989, really. Like I wouldn't say there was gangster rap in 1989. You might have heard a little something. You heard Cool G rap, or you might have heard my man Schoolie D with PSK or whatever. But like it wasn't mainstream. Like every radio station wasn't playing that, and every artist wasn't trying to be a gangster until the ushering in of gangster rap officially. Because once they ushered gangster rap in, they made it they completely obscured the original rap music. And so now I'm not saying that we need to obscure gangster rap. What I am saying is that the solution is we need balance. We need to be able to have access as listeners to all of this music. Because gangsterism is a reality. So I'm not saying that we should completely, ignore and not acknowledge the fact that these things do happen in our communities. But it's not the only things that happen in our communities, and life is such a broad topic overall that we as artists have the ability to talk about a multitude of life's circumstances at any given time in any given song.
It's deep. Um, I have a question now. I finally can get mine out.
Sure.
So,
Mhm.
when did you know that hip hop was going to be the juggernaut that it is? When did you know that this music was going to literally change the world?
Um, there were different things, different pivotal, events that took place in our career, that kind of gave me a bird's eye view of where things were going and how influential, rap music was, or is. And, one of the things was that, uh, you know, obviously seeing it from its inception to, it becoming a multi-billion-dollar industry. I've seen every nuance of it, and in watching its growth, and seeing, you know, it during its infancy, and the things that that stuck and the things that didn't stick. Um, it you know, it made me feel, and I can't speak for any of the other guys in my group, but it made me feel um, uh, like when we went to our you know did our first show in a foreign country. Um, One of the things that made me know that rap music, you know, influenced the whole planet was, here we are in a foreign country and their primary language wasn't English, but they knew every single word to every song we performed. Like that
That's
was
powerful.
that was that's powerful. You know, these people don't speak English. They know every single word to every single song we perform, and after our performance, the whole Coliseum stayed to see if they could have a beer with us.
What?
To see if they could have a beer with us.
Oh
Do
my.
you know how drunk? Do you know how drunk? Like, I don't even drink beer. Man, yeah. So,
Can't even imagine walking out of a whole coliseum trying to buy it. Woo.
like, yeah, because we performed at this this festival in Germany called Oktoberfest,
Mm-hmm.
Oh
and oh, and October all about beer.
Yep. It sure
oh man.
Yeah,
is.
Woo.
yeah, crazy.
I bet it was. Lady
Yeah,
X,
and
what
then,
you got?
I'm sorry. Any other questions?
Oh, we got plenty.
Well,
Oh, okay, cool.
I have another question. Um,
Hmm.
we do credit you guys for laying the foundation of hip hop. And of course, we are so thankful for that. But a lot of times we kind of look at the why and the when. But for you, do you think there's anything that you would do different as far as laying down that foundation? If you could do it all
Um, if I could do it all over again, uh, I mean, I'm not a regretful type of person, and I'm happy with my contribution, and I think that maybe possibly if I could rewind the clock and do this over from the beginning, um, there's a couple of things I probably would do differently. Uh, I probably may not have been a member of my group if I could do it all over again. Um, I probably would have been a solo artist. I probably would have had my own label.
Mm.
Um, I probably would have, much more diligently pursued uh, writing and producing for other artists. I mean, I do that. I've done that for years, but I haven't like really gone like hard and aggressive, to get my production on. I mean, I was a staff producer uh, working with Teddy Riley when he produced the group Blackstreet,
Okay.
um, and I was also a staff producer working for Dr. Dre right before he signed Eminem. But um, you know, people don't really know me as a producer, and I am. Um, so that's probably another thing that have I would have changed if I could have.
Okay. What you got, CP3?
Excuse me. On the producing aspect is also, make some beats and try to get into the, different genres of making beats. Um, Now we see the impact of hip hop, like you say, on everything, and along with movies and movie soundtracks. You mentioned getting to the producer aspect more of it. Could you ever see yourself getting into that aspect of going into like movie soundtrack production?
Well, yeah. Actually, uh, if you are familiar with the film Juice, starring Tupac Shakur,
Yeah.
um, I wrote, produced, and sung and rapped on a song that's on that on the Juice soundtrack that I got a gold record for called "Does Your Man Know About Me?"
Mhm.
Um, and um, I don't know if you're familiar with a Netflix original series called The Get Down.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. That was my joint.
Oh, okay. Well, um, Nas and myself wrote all of the rap lyrics for the actors in that
Oh,
series. Yeah.
cool, cool.
Um. Yeah. And let me see. Back in the days, like there was a group called Riff
Yes,
that
Yeah.
yeah, the movie soundtrack Lean on Me.
Mhm.
Well, I had produced and written a song that was on their album project, and it was called April Fool. But I'm not sure that if their album was ever released or not. But I definitely wrote and produced that song.
So you've been busy. um,
Yeah, yeah. I'm, I'm quietly, I'm a musician. I've been the first instrument that I learned how to play in school, like reading chart music and all of that,
Mhm.
was tenor saxophone.
Okay.
Played in my school band, and then one day I was walking through the hallways of my high school and found a key on the floor. And I tried it to every classroom door until I found the classroom door that fit, and it just so happened to be the piano room.
Mhm.
So whenever I didn't want to participate in gym because they was playing a sport I didn't want to participate in, like volleyball or something,
Mhm.
I would I would cut gym class and lock myself in the piano room and turn the lights out. Uh, and I learned how to play the piano in the dark. I taught myself, and so I play keys, and after that I picked up a guitar and uh, taught myself a little bit of guitar. So um, I do production, and you know I I don't mind I don't mind sampling, but if there's a sample that I can actually play, then I prefer to replay it.
Right.
okay. Are you working on any like memoirs or anything like that? Because you have such a great history.
Thank you. I'm actually working on a three-book autobiography uh, series, uh, and my first book is due for release in September. And my book series is called The Books of Rahiem.
I like it. September.
September, okay.
Yep.
We'll
hmm
be able to get it at.
Uh, the, the first book will be available in September, but it's a three-book series. The first book entails, the story of my childhood uh, prior to my involvement in hip hop culture. No,
Oh, that sounds like it sounds like it's gonna be very deep and going all the way back from your before hip hop to then you
hmm
into hip hop. I think that's it's gonna be very
yeah,
interesting
because
to read.
in order to truly get get an idea of why and how hip hop began and what the elements were that, or excuse me, the circumstances that were in place socially that propelled the youth of of the Bronx to engage in this movement that was unbeknownst to us that became this multicultural, multi-billion-dollar industry.
Cool. You got something for Lady Antoinette?
Yeah, I have one question. Hopefully this is a fun time for you to flashback on some things, but can you tell us one of the maybe the craziest things that you have experienced in the entertainment business, as you would say? You had such a vast career. Um, can you tell us one of the craziest things you experienced?
Well, one of the craziest things that I experienced uh, was, during rap music's growth period, before it was completely, accepted by everyone, in New York City, this melting pot of, you know, ethnicities, you would think that, you know, when you think about a show that happened in Manhattan, in Midtown Manhattan, at a club called Bonds International. Um, uh, my group, we opened for a punk rock group called The Clash. The Clash are a very popular group. And so the place was sold out. We were performing 2 shows this night and opening for The Clash. So so this is an all-white audience that we're performing for. This is 1981, and this is before rap music was accepted by, you know, the pop was accepted by pop culture or white people. Okay, and so white people were not yet exposed to rap music or rap performances, concerts, and so we were opening for The Clash. And when we walked out on stage, um, Flash, he was the first one from our group to go out on stage. And when he walked out and he got behind the turntable and began to scratch a record, the audience was expecting us to be a band because they had never seen rap artists, and they didn't know that rap artists, for the most part, used a DJ and not a band. So everything was all right for a short period when Flash first walked out on stage, even though they were expecting us to be a band and we weren't. And so Flash was cutting up, some records or whatever. And then it got to the part in the show where we walked out on stage. And the stage, it was a man-made stage. It wasn't, a very sturdy stage. It was pretty rickety. And so when we got up there, we did, choreographed dance routines. And when we began doing our dances, uh, this was pre DAT tape or pre any other digital kind of sound medium to play, our show. So Flash was physically using records, using vinyl to cut up the songs that we had, to perform to. So the stage is rickety, Flash is cutting, and the needle on the record began to skip. Once the needle on the record began to skip, this all white audience, they turned hostile and they began to pelt us with all kinds of debris. Um, they were going to the bar, ordering cans of beer, and they were throwing 4 cans of beer at us. And the only reason why the show went on our behalf was because we were getting paid $18,500 to do one show that night, but we were scheduled to do two. So the show went on. We stayed up there performing and ducking debris simultaneously. And when that performance was over, before they let that uh, before they let the next hostile white audience in, because the same thing happened both shows. We hopped off the stage and walked through the audience to see if we saw any, we could recognize any other white people that was throwing stuff at us, but we didn't. And so the next show, we got back up on the stage and did the same thing, and the same result happened. So that was very traumatizing. It's very traumatizing. Period for any artist to stand before any audience and you know and the audience turn hostile. Like
Right.
that's not it. That's the worst case scenario for every artist. So and especially if when we were the only black people in this whole club, so like it was like damn, like was this a setup? Like yo, like but the only reason why we kept going is because we were getting paid that money, you know. But that was a crazy experience. We were on tour with Rick James one time, and rest in, rest, yeah, and the things that Charlie Murphy, rest in peace, said about Rick James were absolute truths. I was physically there when Rick James slapped Charlie Murphy. Um, yeah, I was physically there at Studio 54. Um, Rick James was an Aquarius, and, and so am I. And so we connected uh, when my group toured with him, and so he called me his little Aquarian brother. And every time he would come to New York City, he would call me, and I would meet him wherever he was, and we would hang out. So I remember one time I hung out. He told me to meet him at the Parker Meridian Hotel in Manhattan. I went there, and he was like, "Yo, we gonna go to Rockefeller Center and meet up with Eddie Murphy." So this was when Eddie Murphy was on Saturday Night Live. So we went to Saturday Night Live, and we met Eddie Murphy, and Smokey Robinson and Jamie Lee Curtis came and met us there, and we all went to Studio 54 after that and hung out, and that's where uh, Rick slapped Charlie Murphy. Yeah, yeah, man.
What did you do when you saw that happen? I have to know.
I I just giggle my ass off. I mean, I've seen Rick do some wild stuff. Like one time, because one of the reasons why he took a liking to us is because we did a show somewhere with him, and while we were on stage performing, some guys broke into our tour bus and like stole our belongings, like a lot of our clothes were like scattered in the street, and because they like took uh, suitcases and stuff, like rummaging through suitcases to like find valuables or whatever. And so we had gotten off the stage and we didn't know that our tour bus had gotten broken into yet. And so one of our roadies uh, came downstairs and was like, "Yo, the tour bus got broken into," and he said he thought that he saw some guys that was in like a field across the street from where the tour buses were parked, and it seemed like they knew something or maybe they were involved, and we should come up there. So we all got dressed and we went up there, and we went. Some of us went over and confronted the guys in the field, and they didn't respond favorably or whatever. So we started scrapping with them, and then I came back to the tour bus and uh, walked on the bus to see, what of mine was missing, and when I remember I had some stuff in a closet on the bus, and so I walked to the closet and opened the closet door. And when I opened the closet door, I saw someone standing in the closet. I could see his feet, but he had my coat over his face and head, but he's standing in the closet. So I closed the closet door back and I go outside the bus and I whisper and call all of the rest of the members of the group and was like, "Yo, there's some fool inside the closet door. Uh, inside the closet on the bus." Um, and so we all got on the bus and we opened the closet door and let the games begin. We whooped him, uh, and he was very, very happy to see the police when he got there. When they got there, and so after Rick James saw, because he came outside the Coliseum, he saw us putting it on that dude and a few of the dudes that was in the field across the street. He was like, "Yo, I don't need no damn security on this tour. All I need is Grandmaster Furious 5. They whoop somebody ass." So after that, he put us on his tour with him, and so it was Rick James, and we were on tour with the Commodores when Lionel Richie was still a member, and Carl Carlton, the dude that made "She's a Bad Mama Jamma" and the Fatback Band, and Switch when Bobby DeBarge was still alive, rest in peace. The Gap Band. Uh, man, we toured with some heavy hitters, with some greats that helped to um, influence, uh, the people who made the music that became the early foundations of rap.
Right.
True, true indeed.
Right.
Yep.
So,
CB3, you got a question?
Nah, that whole Rick James through my whole mindset. I don't even just the fact that he was there when it happened. I'm just replaying the Dave Chappelle skit in my head right now. What did five fingers say to the face? That's all I keep on thinking right now. So I don't even have a question now. I'm diving somewhere else, man.
Man,
Right.
you almost thrown me off CP3. I'm not going to fall for it. So, what is your Mount Rushmore of hip hop?
you know, I'm always asked who's my top five, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't really, I wouldn't, I don't do that. Um, m- the only reason why I don't do that is because uh, it's a few reasons actually. Um, I don't like you know, any two rap artists for the same reason. Like I wouldn't compare. Uh, like people compare Jay Z and Nas. I'd never compare the two because there's a distinct difference between the two of them.
True indeed.
Jay Z, Jay Z uh, cares about, understands, and knows that there is a precise formula to making commercial hit rap music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nas, either he's not concerned with trying to uh, uh, be commercial, um, and he's happy with his core fan base, and so he makes the music that he doesn't step outside of his comfort zone to appease a larger uh, demographics of people. All right. So that would be like the difference between Michael Jackson and Prince.
Right.
Right. Okay. Two great, but both great, but great for different reasons. So that's the reason why I wouldn't compare the two. Um, so that's why I wouldn't say one is better than the other. They both are great in their own regard, to me. Um, I like different people for different reasons, different artists for different reasons. And, um, I love Busta Rhymes' energy, and he makes some, he makes some, some of the dopest party rap music around. But as dope as a rap artist as he is, I don't particularly want to hear Busta drop science, even though he's intelligent and his last project he dropped science and I thought it was dope. But that's not really what I want to hear from Busta Rhymes.
You want to party with Buster
Correct. Yes.
because that's what
You know what I mean? So
his hits are known for.
right. And I think, that's his niche. That's his strength, you know. And we all, have a we all wanna, explore our artistry and venture outside of our comfort zone, or that which is that you know what we're known for, um a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, when I like your music, there are reasons. Um, Everybody likes everybody's music for a reason, but for me, I just try not to uh, compare artists to the degree where where I'll say, somebody's better than somebody else, because I try to appreciate them all because I'm still an artist, and I would like to believe about myself and my artistry that I can still be competitive. So for me to put five other people in the top five and not include myself in that demographics, I think I'd be doing myself a tremendous disservice.
You hit on such a good point. So one of the things I tell young artists when we ask these questions, who your top five or your Mount Rushmore, very rarely do they put themselves in that book. And
Right.
I always tell them, if you ain't your biggest fan, then how you expect other people to believe you? If you don't believe in
Exactly.
yourself, you know.
And won't there
And I'm so happy a legend said it because that I think that is the perfect mentality of anybody, any artist. You should strive to be number one.
Mhm. Right. If you don't, why are you doing
Exactly.
Mhm.
And this is why I tell people, pay attention, especially when we have these shows like this. Tap in because we're going to give you something other, some knowledge and stuff. And this is stuff that we've repeatedly said on the show. And then to hear a hip hop legend say it, it just solidifies everything that we do. And and that mentality with him saying it without even any of us hitting at it. We just wonder what you're gonna say, and then when you hit that point, it's like, boom, you know, it's classic.
it? And and not even out of arrogance, or 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 delusion, because some of us, um, from the inception uh, era of hip hop, um, some of us believe that we're the greatest thing since sliced bread, and there's nothing wrong with that thinking when your ability matches that attitude. But if you don't have the ability that matches the attitude, then that's something else. So if you do a little uh, research, and you know uh, you you find out who Rahiem from the Furious Five is today, as compared to who I was, you'll find that I'm a little bit different than uh, the other uh,
Like,
MCs from my era,
yeah,
and that's all I'll say.
I would say this. This when you start naming Juice and you start naming that you work with Dr. Dre through the early stages of Eminem, and you've done a lot behind the scene, producing riff, like you stay constant and relevant in music and so many eras, and you basically almost had a hand in each era of hip hop. I mean, it's legendary. Um, you know, um, and we're gonna give you your flowers while you're here. You know, what you've done is very impressive because um, I didn't even know everything, and just hearing it, it's you in awe, and um, we salute you for that. Like honestly, genuinely, like to hear all the stuff and then you not even just talked about the good, you talked about the bad too. Like so many people will give you cookie cutter interviews and don't tell you the real shit. You told me
Hmm.
at a time when people were throwing cans at you on stage. Um, like the honesty and the rawness, we appreciate that so much. Like like real talk, we honestly do.
I want to say, it's a surreal moment for us. Like I said, we talk to a lot of new artists and up and coming artists. We tell them often to research your craft, so that would bring them to you. Um, Truth be told, I remember, and this was so out of the box. Shout out to my middle school music teacher who made us research hip hop. We had a whole class. We had to go from the beginning up until that current time. I'm not gonna say how long ago that was, but but we had to do that. And yes, you guys came up. I mean, so to talk to you right now, it is a surreal moment, and I'm hoping that all of those who are watching can understand that a lot of these things do come full circle. I mean, here you are, you know, you're producing music on a current show, so you're still influencing hip hop even now. And for those who, I feel sorry for those who choose not to research their past, not to understand how we got to this point in hip hop. I feel sorry for them because, kind of to touch on what you were saying before on how our music is used as a weapon. We're trying to get out of that. We need that knowledge. You need to know where everything started and who's influencing what, who's doing what. So thank you so much for all that you have done and contributed to our culture. Because we know hip hop is a culture. It's just not a type of music. So I thank you so much for all that you have done.
CV3, you still on the
You're
chat?
welcome.
You got something to say?
No, just piggyback off of what everyone said. Appreciate you dropping the knowledge and giving us the real. Giving our audience the real. You are a legend in the game. Taking the time out and spitting some good knowledge and giving some good stories that I wouldn't expect it. And just telling about the journey that you're going through and have gone through. Now like I said, working on the book and advancing in everything that you're doing, not just the rap game, but all the know producing and writing the book. Just showing folks that you have to have multi streams of revenue coming in to survive this game, no matter who you are, no matter what things you've done. You have to keep on growing as a person, as an artist. And hats off to you for continuing your journey and good luck on your book. And we'll definitely be looking out for it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And the bottom line is, we are all we got, and it is our absolute duty to inspire and motivate each other. So, we we help to birth it and bring it to the forefront. And now here we are, 40 plus years later. And so, good, bad, or indifferent, we made it to this point. And so now, we just have to figure out how to successfully turn the tides back. You know, uh, it's not going to go back to what it was, but we can make it better than what it is. That's
Okay.
all.
So before we let you go, I have to know what is your
Hmm.
best hip hop moment?
My best hip hop moment.
Yes.
Okay, so now let me just be clear about something that I don't think the audience and maybe you guys maybe not might not be aware of. So okay, so we know that hip hop is a culture,
Yes.
and so rap music is just one facet of the hip hop culture. So now when you ask me what's my most notable or what's my favorite hip hop moment, so hip hop was prior to the embracing of rap music by the music industry. What's going on is not hip hop, it's just rap music. So now, back to the question. My favorite hip hop moment or my favorite rap?
Now you put me on the spot. Let's go with your favorite rap.
Okay, so my favorite rap moment. Um, One time my group and I were at a club in New York City called the Savoy, and it was uh, it was an award ceremony. It was called the Urban Contemporary Awards, and the president of our record company at the time, Sylvia Robinson from Sugar Hill Records,
Your rap.
uh, yeah, she made us go uh, to this award ceremony. We didn't want to go, so when we got there, um, it turned out to be an absolute star-studded event, right? And so I'm walking around in the mezzanine area of this club called the Savoy, and out of nowhere, the legendary Luther Vandross and the legendary Quincy Jones run up to me excitedly and was like, oh my God, can we take a picture with you you're one of the members of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. And I'm like, yo, get out of here. Y'all must be kidding me. Can I take a picture with y'all? Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, that was a surreal moment for me.
Yeah.
And, oh, one more short one. Um, so I see we're in LA and we are about to do Soul Train. And so I'm waiting for the limousine to pick us up. We're staying at a hotel, the Hyatt Regency, and it was on Sunset Strip. And so I'm standing in front of the hotel waiting for the rest of the group to come downstairs, and I'm dressed in my full, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five show regalia. You know what I mean? So I'm standing there, and this brown and beige Rolls Royce pulls up to the light right in front of the hotel. And it stopped at the light, and I look at the driver, and the driver is a black man, and he looked extremely familiar to me. So I took off running. So I chased this Rolls Royce for like 2.5, almost 3 blocks. He sees me out his side view mirror, and he pulls over. And when he gets out, it was exactly who I thought it was. It was the greatest, Muhammad Ali.
Stop. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, it was. Yo, he got out and he kicked it with me, and the rest of the members of my group saw it from like 3 blocks away, and they came running down there. He was like, "Oh my God, y'all pretty just like me." Like, so it was everything. Like I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it right now. Like, yeah,
Man.
yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you held your composure. I might not have been any good.
I wouldn't have.
Either one of those.
Yo, I, I held my composure, but I was so excited that I couldn't even remember the man's name. All I called him the whole time was the greatest, the greatest. Word. Yep.
Man.
You got something out.
I might not even
Right,
that
right.
out, I ain't gonna lie.
Yep.
Oh, man. So do you have any other projects coming out besides the book?
I am working on some new music, solo project. Um, I'm not sure exactly, I don't have a release date or anything like that. I'm kind of just going off of my my own internal vibe, and when I'm in a good space and I think it's a good time to release something, then I will. And I'm hoping that I feel that way in the not so distant future, like sometime this year. Um, and I'm working on a couple of other things that will uh, help increase my residual income streams. Um, I am actively involved in buying, selling, and trading NFTs and cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Um, I am, pretty literate as far as, uh, cryptocurrency, buying, selling, and trading, and NFTs, and I just partnered up with a tech company called Think Tank, and we are embarking on uh, uh, buying, selling, and trading NFTs and cannabis industry together. And what else? What else? I have. I'm developing a hip hop game show, hip hop trivia game show, um, with a little comedic twist, and I'm also uh, promoting and putting on some concerts um, that will eventually become a residency in Las Vegas at the newest, most expensive casino in Las Vegas called Resorts World.
Oh, so you just don't plan on sleeping all this year? You just don't be up for the
Nah,
rest
you know, look, ain't no sleep till Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
And I'm from the Bronx, so you know what I mean? Like, nah,
Definitely.
you know, I'm just very focused on, you know, getting more out of rap music, you know, and the culture, because I feel like I put in a lot, and you know,
Well,
I didn't collect,
you
you know, I
definitely,
didn't collect nearly what I put in. Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
you definitely did. Do you have any social media that people can contact you on or anything?
Yeah, if you go to Instagram, it's Rahiem, RAHIEM .official, and I mean, I'm on a few other social media platforms, but if you follow me on Instagram, you know, you can connect with me on the other ones as well.
Okay. Well, we definitely want to follow you. We definitely want to thank you for this interview, man. This. I was so excited to do this interview, and it's been a highlight of my day. Honestly, it's very few times I get lost for words. Where I don't even start to ask the first question. Like I was so excited. So, thank you so much. Shout out to Songbird for setting this up. We appreciate you, man, and we love the stories, everything. We're going to support. I'm definitely going to get the book when it comes out in September. You know, and you know, anytime you want to update us on your progress, you're more than welcome. You know, we don't really have fans; we have family that come through.
That's what's up. I appreciate y'all. Much love.
All right.
Thank you.
Uh,
You.
man, if you missed this show, you should really, yeah, you can run it back. All right, we'll do a quick video break, and then we'll be back, man. Uh, okay. Oh yes. Shout out to Nanya. She set the interview up and then she sent us some pizza
I
too.
know. Thank you. We
And
adore you.
you know, and she supports the show, and you know, you gotta.
Well, you said we got family, so I guess that's
Yeah.
our family right there.
Yep. So we definitely so thank you. Let's play some videos. What you want to hear? You know, I'm a cheat. I'm always play Renegade.
Mm-hmm.
Run, young.
That boy P, so he crazy.
No. I was down, now I'm really about to go get up. 10 rounds, now that nigga can't get up. That's what you get when you go fuck with the vision. My money be piling, we don't do division. The feds be watching, I just gotta get up. I was just down, now I'ma get up. Sleeping on me, I bet they didn't get up. My money was low, but now I'ma get up. Oh, bet that we get up. Pushing this weight, I'm doing sit-ups. I was just dirty, now I got my fit up. Too good for these bitches, I bet they gon' miss us. And I pack a bag if you think that I'm trippin'. I keep this shit brisk like I'm sip Lipton. Even though niggas don't know what to get on. You ain't shit, till your niggas go and get on. Get you some pack, go make a flip homes. Yeah, I'm stuck in my bad ways. Niggas always being burnt out, so I dip them all in the ashtray. I don't understand these niggas that just always talking about, yeah, they past ways. I don't understand these bitches always comparing me to they past days. I give a fuck about you, you give a fuck about me. I just be rapping for money, you be rapping for free. Feel like that I rap like a god, the reason they call me a G. I'm against all of these odds, niggas ain't fucking with me. Never no worries, Hakuna Matata. They say that I'm hot cause the devil with Prada. I'm Soulja Boy first and these niggas gon' follow. Catching no feelings, you catching these hollows. Ride with Rodriguez like I fuck with Rollo. Ain't got no time when I see this Movado. Bet that bitch shine like I'm in Monte Carlo. Looking at me like I done hit the lotto. Counting your last days, get hit up. Talking that trash, hey, on Twitter. Your bitch, she be bad, yeah, I'm with her. When she see me, her face be lit up. Boy, better go ahead and mind your business. I don't go back and forth like tenor. Run this game, I don't get no finna. But we bout to get up. 10 rounds, now that nigga can't get up. That's what you get when you go fuck with division. My money be piling, we don't do division. The feds be watching, I just gotta get up. I was just down, now I'ma get up. Sleeping on me, I bet that they get up. My money was low, but now I'ma get up. Oh.
Benji, how you do that there?
Double M Visions.
What's that supposed to mean? Man, what's that supposed to mean? Hit him in the rock me, make his shoulder lean. Yeah. Niggas they buying guns, taking pics, what's that supposed to mean? You can't duck the smoke, lace that blunt, that's that special weed. We legit the plug, break it down, you won't find no seats. Way before the polls and the violence shit was TLP. And stop the speaking on my name and do no hits with me. Tell KO to sit one out, he'll do it here for free. Physically I'm straight, I blow the bitch, but fuck the mentally. Pass it to the bay, yeah, I'm a sinner like JaVale McGee. You ain't got no bread, why you hating? That's a penalty. I ain't got no guard for my bud who rode in grapple leaf. Stand up, we the trans, got the bands, babe, come ride with me. One hand on the wheel, not put over while she topping me. And we roll a gun nuts, switch sides, you ain't from over there, why'd you up, start throwing the hood up. Too geek when I'm off of that Remy, just been nauseous out my throw up. Too clean when I hit from the side, I stroke a little salt, don't like when I grow up. Ain't dumb and fuck with us, throwing the towel, long to give up. Taking pics, what's that supposed to mean? You can't duck the smoke, lace that blunt, that's that special weed. We legit the plug, break it down, you won't find no seats. Way before the polls and the violence shit was TLP.
I probably die before they catch me. Shouldn't have made it home, I thank the Lord cause he done blessed me. Teed up in my zone, really busting off this perky. Thought I had a clone, how I'm popping out with Smokey. That's my brother, ain't no joking. T-Gang, too official, T them talking, better listen up closely. And these goofies artificial, walking up like they know me. I ain't too much for the chat and you gon' have to come show me. Niggas thinking that they pack until I switch to the fully. Write a note, about this money, I just touched me a dub. Remember all we had was hope, now I'm fresher than Dove. Remember holding up that pole, body loving the rush. We just packaged up the soul, left that boy in a Dutch. 10, let me chill off the Remy, I'm wildin'. But I'm aiming for a kill, nigga, reach for my diamonds. If it's not about a meal, you gon' have to come find me. You not ready for that drill, ain't no point in you
buying
lying.
guns, taking pics, what's that supposed to mean? You can't duck the smoke, lace that blunt, that's that special weed. We legit the plug, break it down, you won't find no seats. Way before the polls and the violence shit was TLP.
Mafia, 10 shot.
Benji, how you do that there?
Y'all know the vibes.
Double M Visions.
Damn, Matt. This one's
Let's go. Ayy, let's go. Big Simmer, nigga. My turn. Ayy, let's go. Ayy, when I'm in the booth, I tell no lies. Don't point me to that beat because them guys ain't one of mine. You see that killing in my eyes. Tell that pussy come outside. Ayy, he was raised to running high. Let's go, let's go, let's go. When I see my eyes, no talking, we gon' collide. Yeah, I fucked this being me tripping, fucked up his pride. He said he gon' kill me, shrug my shoulders, then I nod. Ask the last nigga that tried. Yeah, you can't, cause he with God. Call me Mr. Beat the eyes. I'm like Moses with that ride. Fuck your rules, we don't abide. I said I love you, but I lied. I like all my bitch sneaky. I can't fuck her, she too easy. Gotta cheat just to come see me. Ain't my bitch, but still won't leave me. Hey man, I been poppin' shit, man. Beat something, man. Hey, I'm done beef with y'all hoe ass niggas, man. Let me talk to your bitch right quick. Hey, shawty, come here. Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm pissed off, my liquor, I might overreact. I pop a bean, we fuck for hours, and let's run back to bed. I eat that pussy, I'm free nasty, watch me kiss up a bed. I pop her, she talk too much, I put this dick in the neck. Make sure she straight, make sure she ate, that's how you get your respect. I like the hunch, we like the fuck, I think I love having sex. Fuck on your bitch, that's on my man, and I still fuck with my ex. And I ain't waiting on your cousin, I just gotta confess. She got a boyfriend and she messy and she say I'm on that. She don't your nigga, fuck on me, don't have to deal with no stress. Don't trust no nigga, trust no bitches, get that shit out my chest. I fucked on bruh girl and his girl, know why niggas is pressed. Hey bro, I don't even know why you mad, you ain't the first one. You know what I'm saying? I been doing this shit, we been doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at me, don't hate the game, hate the player. Ay, they call me free, nasty. Some call me Zaddy. I don't do no talking, tryna fuck, send me to Eddie. I don't do no talking, that my business, please don't ask me. She get freaky for me, play with that pussy, spray on her ass cheek. Baby got a figure and stamina, think she an athlete. Bitches here by me, hating, wishing that they had me. Used to fall in love with these hoes, that was the past me. Used to fall in love with these hoes, that was the past. Ay, when I'm in the booth, I tell no lies. Don't point me to that beat because them guys ain't one of mine. You see that killing in my eyes, tell that pussy come outside. Ay, he was raised to running high. Let's go, let's go, let's go. When I see my eyes, no talking, we gon' collide. Yeah, I fucked this being me tripping, fucked up his pride. He said he gon' kill me, shrug my shoulders, then I nod. Ask the last nigga that tried. Yeah, you can't, cause he with God.
Damn, Matt. This one's too hard.
Bow your head and pray. You wanna talk to him? Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. Beat Sim in this bitch, we turn, nigga.
Man, that was a good ass interview. I like them type of interviews.
Yeah, very informative.
Man.
It's not just it's informative. You get an opportunity to talk to someone that you learned about, heard, who may have influenced you, who influenced the entire an entire genre of music.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love talking to up and coming artists, but it ain't every day that you get to talk to a literally legend.
A founder.
Yeah. And we're not using legend loosely. No. Some of these people be like, oh yeah, I'm a hood legend, I'm a this. No, it's an actual legend.
And even people who were like closer to our age, or you know, we can say they're legends all day, but this is
a legend.
This is a founder legend.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
This is one of the reasons why I fell in love with hip hop, like listening to the message and you know.
And right lines. Some of y'all need to listen to that now.
A lot of them doing it.
I'm not trying to be shady.
I am.
Just being real. Some of y'all need to listen to some of this. And when you look at different genres of music, to talk to a founder of that genre, most of all these other genres, you know, a lot of people are gone. You know, you don't get an opportunity to interview them.
That's true.
Rock and roll is old.
Yeah.
Country is old. We can't talk to the people who originated that, but we can talk to people who directly influence rap and hip hop.
Yeah.
So,
and I love the fact that, you know, he brought up, you know, hip hop and rap is different. You know, rap is something what you do. Hip hop is the culture. It was an amazing interview. I ain't gonna lie.
Like he was in probably chapter, well, lesson 2 of the hip hop and rap portion of my teacher's class.
Yeah.
Because the first one they went back to Africa to the roots, the
Yeah.
storytellers and everything. And then when we got to what we know as modern day rap and the hip hop culture, where do you start? Well, yeah,
You know,
we just got off the interview.
especially it's broken glass everywhere. I mean that beat, and then when Puffy and Mace redid it, and for those who think that's a Puffy and Mace beat, no, no, know your history.
That's what we were talking about.
You know that song, the message,
Yes.
is so iconic.
I had to learn the words. I had to learn. That was part of our class. We had to learn the words.
It's like a jungle sometimes. And the thing about it is, when you're singing it as a kid, it's cool.
Yeah.
But then when you understand what they're talking about as an adult,
yeah, it's different.
It hits a lot different.
Yeah.
They were way ahead of their time.
And they're the original purpose of rap.
Yeah.
It was conscious. They everything was. It was no doubt about that. They were just rhyming.
Yeah.
They may have called it that, but
I mean,
they weren't just making up words and just saying, "Oh, this goes with this." No, they were talking about something.
As a kid, you push somebody in the street like, "Don't push me till I'm close to the edge," and then when you actually understood what that actually meant,
it was
and the seriousness.
Come on, you know how many kids were influenced by Happy Feet? And Happy Feet did what? They quoted them. Like, you know what I mean? That's a big thing.
That record is still it's like one of the most quotable records of all time.
Yeah.
Easily. What'd you say?
He said Happy Feet was a good movie.
You watched? Oh shit! You watched Happy Feet? Did you have your gun out when you watched it?
There was a second one.
No, I mean, check out the second one. I ain't check out the second one.
Did you clean your gun while you was watching Happy Feet?
No, I was waiting for Shawty's daughter to go to sleep.
And you was into it.
Yeah, that shit was alright.
Did you smash her mom while she was watching Happy Feet?
No, I let her go to sleep first.
No, was the movie still on when you smashed though?
Oh yeah, she fell asleep like halfway through.
I think it was the feet thing, wasn't it?
Probably.
That's why you was into it.
Yeah,
the feet thing.
Did you smash on the couch or did you take it to the bedroom?
I went to the bedroom.
No, because his nickname that I met him as. And then you got Happy Feet. Yeah.
That little dude was kicking, man. Little dude was kicking. Tearing it up in the club.
He probably was, and then he was an underdog. That's why another thing. He always an underdog.
Yeah, man. Underestimate little dude.
So CP3, what you got for us in sports, man?
Oh man, we had a wild weekend, week of sports. We had the NFL draft just finished up yesterday. Washington Commanders inaugural draft for the new franchise name and everything. And as always, Commander Nation is split. Some of them delusional, some of them crazy.
Wait.
That's the split.
You can't say delusional or crazy. Everybody's not that way. Aren't you a fan? Which one are you?
Yes, I'm
Which
crazy.
one? Are you delusional? You're
I'm
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, what about me?
You're a little bit of both.
I'm delusional too.
Delusional and crazy.
How am I delusional?
It's because you are who you are.
Whatever.
Football.
He said anything about football. I can't stand this man. I told y'all he pick on me.
Nah, I'm just stating truths.
Whatever.
Yeah. But they had the inaugural draft, and I have monikered a new name for some of the fans.
Oh God.
What was that name be, sir?
They are no longer the Gloom and Doom fans. They are now called the Commander Karens, because they complain about every damn thing, no matter what goes on with this team.
My goodness.
So yeah, a couple of people got upset, but if you get upset at the name, I mean, you must identify with it. So I'm working on getting the trademark and patented. I might have a cartoon or something coming out with it too. I'm serious, because some of these fans.
Hold on.
All right.
Let me clear the air. Go ahead, keep talking.
Let me get back to the draft.
Keep talking, because I got you.
The first pick of the Washington Commanders wide receiver Johan Dotson out of Penn State. He's a playmaker. He's a little small. That's what his major concern was. They're saying that there was a reach with him being taken as high as Washington took him. I don't care what their so-called reach is. If you give Terry McLaurin another weapon, along with Carson Wentz, give him another target. Hopefully that'll be something that help get Terry seated there, getting him help. And on the offense, they've been, drafted for the defense so much lately. So hopefully, that helps get Terry signed because he's looking to be around between 22 and 24 million a year with a new contract he's about to get with the wide receiver free agency market blowing up like it did this past offseason. The second pick of the draft was Fidarian Mathis, excuse me, defensive tackle out of Alabama. A lot of folks are upset about the pick because they say, we had Deron Payne, and why would you let Leonidas go and Tim Settle go to Buffalo and draft another lineman, and they say they should have been a third round pick and he's a second round pick. All right, folks, let me educate you real quick.
Oh, shit.
Ron Payne is not resigning. They already announced that. I don't know why the DC sports media let that go because he could have been trade bait, but now everybody knows he won't be resigning. So we probably won't get nothing for him. Tim Settle decided to go to Buffalo because he'd get more playing time. Matt Ioannidis was a salary cap casualty after they signed Carson Wentz with his contract to absorb it.
Yeah.
So, therefore, the defense is the core of the team and the defensive line is the core of the defense. So, you want to retool. So, if you look at it from a financial standpoint, Deron Payne is making, I believe, $8 million this year. He walks, you have a third round pick that can fill in and take his place on the line, who was only going to make probably $600,000 to $700,000, and you have to clear money for Terry McLaurin to get his contract done. So do you see how it all links together?
It's about money.
Exactly. It's a business. They have first rounders all on the line. They're not going to be able to resign all of them just because of the salary cap. So some of the players are going to not be here. You still got to re-sign Chase, Montez Sweat, Terry McLaurin. Need I say more? Okay. Third round pick, Brian Robinson Jr. out of Alabama, running back. This dude, he runs angry. I was watching tape on him. He reminds me of Derrick Henry, a smaller version, but it's physical and breakaway speed. Once he breaks those tackles and get in the open field, he's gone.
Yeah.
And that's going to, definitely. That's going to definitely help Antonio Gibson. Going to push him also. It's a crowded backfield now. They still have Jared Patterson, and they re-signed John Williams from the practice squad. They re-signed him. So there's going to be a lot of competition, and I believe, he's definitely going to, I feel, make the squad and be a contributor to the backfield because, he runs angry. Fourth pick, safety, Percy Butler. Anybody named Percy, they're cool.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, everybody out of that named Percy been a cool motherfucker. Safety out of Louisiana. He's more of a free safety, which this team has been looking for a while. He's also can play a hybrid position like Landon Collins was, but for not the high price tag. He's very versatile. He's a sure tackler. Can play special teams also, and be interesting to see him filling in with Bobby McCain and Cam Curl out there with the versatility of these defensive backs. I'm hoping that that's a good sign going into next year with Del Rio and his play calling. That we'll see more, things disguised and see more creativity and some of the crazy blitzes we used to see from him, pretty much before he got here, because I haven't seen any of those blitzes we used to see in Jacksonville and Oakland when he was coaching those teams. So I'm hopeful that that's a sign, because that's the only issue I had with Coach Ron retaining him and not even questioning bringing somebody else in, or even taking over some of the duties himself, because I'm just not happy with his game plan decisions. Pressure with four, playing zone when you sign the number one man cover corner in the league and you make him play zone and everybody's talking about he's a waste, and you go to playing man and he shines like the player we thought he was going to do. So I don't know, but that's why I'm on the outside doing the inside. I'm just hoping they thinking about that going into the next season. Fifth round pick is considered the steal of the draft, for not only for the team, but the steal of the draft totally. Quarterback Sam Howell out of North Carolina, University of North Carolina. He was a top.
Tar Heel?
Yeah, he was a top prospect, looking to be top draft pick in 2020, but unfortunately 3 of his wide receivers and 2 of his running backs got drafted to the NFL. So he had a bunch of inexperienced players he played with this past year, so his stock fell. No one expected him to drop to the 5th round, but it was a perfect pickup for Washington, he's reminds me of a stronger arm Taylor Heineke, honestly. He very mobile, excuse me, athletic, can buy time with his feet, also can throw from the pocket. Look like he already has a foundation of being able to read defenses, being with the pro style offense he played with those dynamic receivers that he had. One of which is Diami Brown, who was Washington drafted the year before. So you know they'll be throwing the ball around after practice, hopefully improving both of them, making them better players, because we definitely need Diami Brown, because with the speed that we have now, with the new draft acquisitions and the players we already have, if Wentz get them ball in open space and the blocking holds up, they can take it to the house from anywhere on the field. The second, fifth round pick, Cole Turner, tight end out of Nevada. Guy 6'6", so you can automatically say red zone target. Partnered up with Logan Thomas, who's 6'4". He's athletic, has a great wingspan and catch radius. He catches pretty much anything that comes his way. He's not real big on breaking tackles or getting away from defenders, but he's sure-handed. Once they throw the ball his way, he's going to catch it, and that'll be interesting with the two tight end set down in the red zone with Logan Thomas and with him, and Gibson out the backfield and the wide receivers that we have. So that's been an issue with the Washington football team getting into the red zone, not getting there, but actually getting to the end zone and not being held to field goal. So he's definitely going to help in that aspect. He's still a little raw. Like I said, his blocking is going to need some work, but he's definitely going to be a good target in the red zone. They have John Bates, who they drafted last year, who was more of a blocker, and he made some plays in the passing game last year. But this guy, Cole Turner, is definitely more athletic and more upside in the passing game. Seventh round pick, but they didn't have a sixth round pick, was Chris Paul out of Tulsa. No, not the basketball player. No, not the comedian. The offensive lineman out of Tulsa. He's very versatile, can play tackle. He played, I think I saw it said he had 14 starts at tackle, 12 starts at guard, and guard at every position on the line pretty much except for center. So we know that that's a trademark of Coach Rivera's mentality of having linemen that are versatile along with players that are versatile. They can fill in the multiple roles. And despite all the DC sports media and these Commander Karens, the offensive line is not as bad as y'all seem to believe. They were ranked number 6 according to PFS, Pro Football Focus, who grades every position of every NFL team in the NFL. And remember, we had injuries all across the line last year, and they still held up. So we don't need as much of an offensive line as some of you guys think. So it ain't even like that.
When the tone changed, we like the sage,
I've been
okay?
saying this over and over again, so I got to reiterate it on the air.
You about to flip.
I've been typing it, now it's time for me to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your voice changed. You got real. Your dad's voice came out.
This is the point I've
When
been
he
making.
do that, I'm like, oh, let's like the sage.
Because I've been repeating it, and folks, even when I posted on their comments, I even posted an article with the stats in there.
You know these
and
people
they won't
don't
read it.
Yeah, they don't read it. That's
and
what
they just
happens.
continue talking. Let's say continue. Just
They'll read your comment, but they're not about to read that article.
That's why I gotta address them on there because they don't read. So I know if they're tuning in, they can at least hear. I know they're gonna turn, but you know who I'm talking to. And the last pick of the 2022 draft for the Washington Commanders is defensive back Christian Holmes out of Oklahoma State. This kid is physical, 6 foot, long arms, not afraid to come up on a run. Had, I believe, 17 pass defense in his senior year. He's definitely going to be attribute on special teams, and he's going to push for the backup spot because you still have St. Juice from last year and a couple of other young players that they drafted that didn't make it through the season that are going to be. We don't know what they can do. So everyone was saying, we should have drafted a defensive back earlier. Well, we got talent that we don't even know what they are yet. So why would you spend a first round and second round pick on a player position that might already be filled once you get the players on the field? So, but we'll break that down more. I'll talk about that more tomorrow night on Sports and Hill podcast, giving more of my draft grades and critiques of these players, you can go check out my YouTube channel, Carol Porter III. Did a highlight clip on all of them, but the longest one's about 2 minutes long. I didn't want to do too much. Some folks have 10 and 12-minute videos out there already. I do it all myself, so I ain't had time to do all that. I should have about 2 minutes, throw some music on and call it a day. So you can check those out. Also, we have NHL playoffs about to start tomorrow. Capitals once again in for the 8th year in a row.
Yay.
They're the 8th seed going up against Florida, the number 1 seed. They didn't end the season strongly as we hoped, but Ovi missed all 3 games precautionary after that trip that should have been called and fined. It wasn't into the boards. It was precautionary. I just saw a report. He said he could have played if he, if it was major. They could have moved up in position, but they're the best road team in the league, so they are going up against Florida, who one of the best home teams and comeback teams in the league. They were 1-1 against Florida. Both of the games that they lost, Florida came back. They had a lead on them and weren't able to hold it. That's really my only concern with this team. Capitals called up another goalie for Cawley, who actually had a shutout in his first NHL game. So you're allowed to carry 3 goalies in the playoffs, and maybe we're going into the 3-headed monster because nobody really stood up and took control of the position. I've been an advocate of Double V. Sammy's shown flashes of, being that guy. And for Cawley, he was just down there with the Hershey Bears in their playoff run. I'm not sure if they won it all or not. I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow, too, on the show. Had NBA playoffs underway. Just had the first round of the Eastern Conference semifinals and the Western Conference semifinals just finished up a little while ago. First game of the day was Milwaukee defeating Boston 101-89 to take a 1-game-to-nothing lead in that series. And Golden State edged out Memphis at home after Draymond Green got ejected for what they say was a flagrant 2 foul, but I saw it. This is why I don't watch the NBA, and back in the 90s, that wouldn't even been called a foul, let alone a flagrant 2, and you get ejected.
But Draymond, he tends to play dirty, so unfortunately,
that would have been a foul.
It would have been a foul.
It would have been a foul. It would have been a foul.
Well, it wouldn't have been a flagrant, and not a flagrant 2 to get thrown out the game.
Pretty tough, and I feel like that's why they're doing that. Not to say that it's right,
that's what I mean. They're soft now. If you're physical, you get penalized for it.
I mean,
got some big boys in that front
it's not supposed
he
to
pulled him by his jersey.
Sport,
he pulled his jersey, but you heard the way they broke it down. It was like he with the hit to the face, and then he grabbed him to the jersey and threw him to the ground like it was a red, like he just RKO'd him or something. I'm like,
Draymond does tend to.
I mean, I've seen some of the stuff that he's done, but in that instance, it wasn't. To me, it didn't warrant being ejected from the game.
I don't think he should have got ejected for the game, but it was clearly a foul.
I mean, it was a foul. I just don't think it was a flagrant.
I mean, he a dirty player, so I can't feel so sorry for him.
But the final score, Golden State still found a way to win, 117-116. Klay Thompson hit the game-winning bucket. Golden State has a 1-0 lead in that series. Tomorrow night, you have Philly going against Miami in Miami with a 7:30 start, and then you have Dallas at Phoenix with a 10 o'clock start. And to round up the sports, the Nets just won the series against the San Francisco Giants with an impressive 11-5 victory. So now they sit at 8-16. Still got to get over that sweep to the Marlins at home. That's the first time that's happened since 2011. But they've been on the road, and they haven't had having a problem scoring runs and with pitching. But in this series on the West Coast, they got both. And they won 2 out of 3. They go into Colorado next. That series starts on Tuesday.
And they were the underdogs, right?
Yeah, San Francisco is one of the hottest teams in the league right now. They just played the Nets at home and swept the Nets. I think the Nets won 1 of the 3 against. I think they did get swept. Because they won 1. That's the one game they won last week. Yeah. So there was some contention in that series because the Giants were up big in one game, late in the game, and they were still being aggressive on the base pads. And Alcides Escobar, in the 8th inning, kind of got a little upset. They were stealing bases and running aggressively. Benches cleared, nothing happened. Then San Francisco actually had some COVID issues that 9 of their players were in COVID protocol. So the first night, the Nets pretty much blew them out. There was a situation with Juan Soto and the pitcher, where he was trying to quick pitch him, and Juan Soto asked for time the first time. The umpire gave it to him. Then he got to hit a home run off of him. Next time he asked for timeout. Ref didn't give it to him, and it ended up to be a pop up out. And nothing really transpired. But it's crazy how early in the season it's already heated and got so much more baseball to go.
Juan embarrasses people.
Yeah, he does. That's my man. I just hope we got to re-sign him too.
That's why I understand why they did it, because you don't want to get embarrassed.
Yeah, I mean the pitcher wasn't even really that mad. So I mean, the pitcher, he wanted to give him kudos. He was like, I love watching him play. I just hate pitching against him.
Right, because he gonna embarrass you.
Yeah,
like
he was in a rhythm. He didn't necessarily think he was quick pitching, but it's a thin line. As soon as you step in the box, the ball is live and David Martinez got involved, so Juan Soto, just keep your hand up in the box until you're ready. When you're ready to put your hand down, then go forward.
Yep.
Like I said, they have a 3-game series going to Colorado, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday is an 8:40 p.m. start Eastern time, and Thursday is a 3:10 start. Then they go to Los Angeles to play the Angels and see good old friend Tony Two Bags, Anthony Rendon, who's out there in Los Angeles, that World Series championship team. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. Friday is a 9:38 start. I don't know what's up with that. Guess somebody's not calling the game. You got his kids off or something.
Wait, why you gotta be black?
Because 9:38. That's me and my folks. We had that running jokes like I meet you.
That's Negro time.
9:37, dog. I'll be there 9:37. This nigga can't be on time at 9:30.
That's the time that the GPS say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nigga can't be on time.
That's clearly Negro time. It's a stereotype.
He's supposed to be there at 9:30. Like I'll be there at 9:38, dog. I'll be there at 9:38. It's the GPS fault. Then Saturday it's a 9:07 start. Obviously the GPS still ain't working. And then Sunday it's a 4:07 start. So they just interpreting some traffic and some things. But hopefully the Nats can continue playing well on the road and can get this record back to respectable. They're 8-16, bottom of the NL East. And I can't believe I'm about to say this.
Go ahead.
Fucking Mets are leading the division.
Yeah, boo.
One of the best teams in baseball. Just combined for a no-hitter over the Phillies.
Say that again.
We're upside down world, y'all.
Say that one more time.
They just had a combined no-hitter.
No. Say the name of the team.
Oh. Fucking New York Mets.
Real talk, I didn't think I would hear you say that either, because
I mean, all I'm gonna say is it's still early and they're still the Mets, so they're gonna find a way to
ruin it.
Yeah. And the fact that they got my boy back.
A lot of times they're not even in the position to be talked about, pretty much.
Yeah.
So for them to be talked about, it's like who? Who said that?
I remember people in New York used to hate the Mets.
Yes.
I will never forget this because I love the Mets more than the Yankees. And
you one of the few.
Well, I mean, I'm from Queens, so Shea Stadium wasn't that far from us.
Gotcha.
But
even still.
But my family never took us to see Mets games. They always took us to go see Yankees.
Because if you want to really see a good game,
you go see the Yankees.
Thank you.
So, I remember that I was a little kid. I was on the bus with my grandmother, and the man turned around and he said, "I like little kids, but I hate the Mets."
I think you told me that.
My grandmother cussed that man out. Yep. I was so proud of my Mets hat, and he just turned around and just blew me.
He was a hater.
Oh,
you
man.
kept it. Well, I mean, real talk, people do that now. They'll tell you, you got a cute baby, but why he got that on?
Yeah.
Wrong shirt, wrong color.
Don't get me wrong, because I probably do it to, if I see one of my relatives, they could be a baby, and they got like a Cowboys hat, I'm like, I don't really like this kid.
No, I'll tell him.
Be like,
That's why I said you got a cute baby, but.
Be like, yeah, we ain't really related.
Wrong colors. Soccer.
The sage calmed them down. Whoa.
You don't do soccer?
So Thursday I actually went to New Jersey.
Oh.
And I got an artist that I'm thinking about bringing aboard. But we're going to see because...
He's from Jersey or you just...
He's from Jersey.
Okay. What part? You don't want to say?
So let me just tell you about the Jersey trip first.
Okay,
so when we go to New York, it's like 4 hours.
Yeah.
We were so deep in Jersey, it was 5.
Oh, so you was like.
We was in Clifton, New Jersey.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah. You're about the only person besides people in Clifton.
I've heard of it.
No, but I know quite a few people.
There was an exit that said, "Take this exit to the George Washington Bridge." That's the exit we go to the Bronx. I was like, damn, we're deep.
That's extra north.
So we went there. They had some good acts.
Okay.
Um, if you go to Shots by Rahiem 151, you'll see some of the acts, and there's some I put on Facebook as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gentleman who he did Afrobeat, and I recorded him.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me to record his performance. We settled on the price, so I sent him the link to YouTube to show him what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, when you send me the rest of it, you send me the money we agreed upon through Cash App, we transfer your videos.
Mm-hmm.
So this depends. This is messing up your opportunity. If he doesn't pay me, he doesn't really realize I'm a podcaster because I never told him that. So it could be a platform for you to basically expand your music if you keep your word.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't keep your word, it's no big deal because I was recording anyway.
Right.
I just know I have your phone number, I have your name. I'll just know not to do business with you, and I'll just probably put you on blast and delete your videos off the internet.
Right. True.
You know, because I was going to play the videos, so I have them on YouTube here tonight. But I was like, nah, I'm just gonna mark them private.
Right.
You know, and granted, I know people get busy, so I'll give them to after the weekend. But you know, if I don't get it by like Monday or Tuesday, it again deleted. And keep in mind, I shot the shit in 4K.
Keep it for 7 days. Make that your standard, then I guess.
Okay, 7 days. We'll do 7 days.
Look, the free, a lot of these free doorbell camera apps will keep stuff for 7 days.
Okay.
You know, and then after that, it gets deleted.
So you got 6 more days now.
Right, you're not paying for storage. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, but okay, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
If it works out, he agrees, then I'll invite him to the show. And if he can call in, or if he actually wants to make that trip down here. He's an Afrobeat artist. I would love to have him come down here.
Yeah,
I may even.
You know, I would.
I know. That's what I was thinking, and I may even, maybe knock the table, put the table down, let him do a quick performance.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I would say this. This is the difference between, to me, a hungry artist and an artist who think they're like that. He's the only artist that came up to me and he saw what I was doing and he said, "Hey, I see you recording. Could you record me?
Mm-hmm.
And how much would you charge?" Because he was about business. Because a lot of artists, don't. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not being braggadocious and stuff like that. A lot of people bring the cameras in and stuff like that. So I had my stuff, and when the bouncer looked at my camera, he was like, "Damn, nice." Because it's not like I'm not bringing cheap shit. So, and I take pride in all my stuff. So he saw what I was doing. He saw an opportunity, and he asked. That's networking. Mm-hmm. Never hurts to ask. I will never. I'm not in the track meet. I know artists. I know plenty of artists in my own city. So I ain't never chasing nobody. Hey, this. If you see me working and you want to know what I'm doing, we can gladly have a conversation. Mm-hmm. But if you think that I need to chase you to find out what I do with the pictures and all this other stuff, they go on my private page. They don't even go on the At The Bar page. They might go on the At The Bar page because they're artists. But most of the time they'll go on the Shots by 141, my photography page. Because I'm taking this for personal pleasure. I like to see people perform. I like to see, hey. It's cool. But if you see me doing that, and if you want your picture and all this other stuff, definitely, contact and shit ain't free, but definitely contact and we can work something out. But I will never chase an artist to be like, I don't even chase liquor. probably why my liver hurts now. But but all in all, it was a good showcase. We got some dates coming up. So my birthday is June 2nd. Um, we're not gonna have a show on the third, on the fourth, whatever, because we're going to Philly and Jersey. So that's Saturday and that's Sunday. So yeah, I'm just gonna take off them 3 days.
Yeah.
And hopefully by the 5th I'll be sober. It's no guarantee though.
Bless your heart.
It's no guarantee.
Bless
You know, I'm just being real. It's my birthday. I got a bottle of white honey with my name on it.
And then I just want to let y'all know, remind you guys and let everyone watching, I'm not going to be here this upcoming Sunday. And it's Mother's Day.
Oh, it's gonna be. So CP3 will be bringing strippers or what?
What? On Mother's Day, I support single moms.
So Lady Antoinette won't even be in the state. So make them texts
No,
now.
I come back on Sunday, so I need y'all to understand that it depends on when I get back, whether or not I pop up. Because you know how I do.
We can shoot from a remote location.
Y'all mobile bitches. I pull up on you.
I'd like to welcome you to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming, because I didn't. Stop, I'm being shady and messy now. I'm being shady and messy now. It's an inside joke. You had to be here for a week.
Invite me to
to your whole show. That had to be the moment of 2021.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm letting y'all know that these two put me in these predicaments sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't going to tell you. I really just wanted you to walk in and see the look on your face.
Some situations, I feel like they know it's going south and they just wait for me.
Yeah, why not?
Respond. And I just be like, what?
She's thanking you for coming to your own show that you sit here every week with.
I'm telling y'all know it's bad when you got that blank expression, but you still have a smile on your face, and it's a blank smile. So people who know know it's not a genuine smile, and that something is really wrong.
That shit was hilarious.
Everybody has that type of smile.
That shit was hilarious.
Or a chuckle.
Me and CP3 was like,
She was about, man, got her out of here just in time.
CP3, you cannot pimp.
This one right here be plotting.
She was about to get passed around like a blunt.
Sometimes I'm on pop him. Like I keep telling him, like one day.
I thought the sage had worked, but I guess it didn't.
It went out for a second. It has to be consistently going, okay? Oh, we need to get these things out
Oh my God.
This one don't act right, I swear.
So.
I'm just saying, I've been in those situations before.
What situations?
Where there was a young lady who was
didn't want to be saved.
Yeah, being very suggestive of what she was looking for, and the person she came with didn't pick up on those signals.
So, but you did.
Oh yeah, I'm very observant. I'm just so used to the security. I pick up on everything. Just be looking.
I promise you. Like it may not be much help for this one, but that's why
I don't need no help, man. I'm good, man. I've been to therapy and everything. I'm good.
You need to go back.
You have like a 10-year reunion or something?
We put you in your therapist?
Yeah.
You need it. They not finished.
Therapy like you will get them retired.
Right. Oh, you coming back? Oh, you know what? I gotta recommend you to somebody else.
Niggas be like, I quit.
Right. They don't get paid enough. They get paid big money.
Yeah, they don't get paid that money. Damn right.
No, they say they don't get paid enough.
My insurance and shit.
So, what you got going on Monday, CP3?
Monday it'll be myself and Robbie covering the Capitals and their 0-3 week going into the playoffs. We'll be breaking that down, recapping the game, breaking down the matchup with the Panthers. Then we'll break down the 3-3 week for the Nationals. Look forward to their upcoming week. Then Robbie and the NBA Roundtable will be breaking down the playoff matchups, the series enders in the first round, and preview the second round, and give the updates on the semifinal matchups that will be playing tomorrow. And I'll be talking a little Washington Commanders also. Might even go over some USFL and some Mystics, because the Washington Mystics are back in action. I believe they won their first game. I'm not sure if it's preseason or regular season yet. I haven't had a chance to really check it out.
So how is that USFL going? You liking it? It's bullshit or?
No, it's a good product. They give you, it's kind of like the XFL was, where they give you the up close and personal. So sometimes you do hear some stuff that you really shouldn't hear. But they do have some good angles. They actually have a helmet cam with the running back, so you can see it from his perspective when he's running the ball. They have a unique cam when they punt the ball. Normally you just see it from the field view, but they actually have a view from the aerial with the ball like coming towards you, so you get a different point of view on it. The product is good because we know we don't have any other football outlets for these college players that don't make it to the NFL. So most of them are NFL, not maybe NFL players, but they're upper tier players that deserve another market to play in. And it's good to see the USFL hopefully with the corporate sponsoring, and I believe that XFL is still in the works because The Rock, he is behind that now, so they're still in the works of that because we really have no semi-pro football league.
So when is the FXL plan to have their season? Is it going to be?
They're still under works.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. They're still because they went bankrupt and they're trying to redo everything.
Because remember, Vince had it.
Yeah, Vince had it. Now the Rock owns it, so they having to redo everything and get the finances set up, and now
they're dealing with some trademark issues too. The new logo that they released, they're actually other companies. There's I think 2 companies that are suing them because they're saying it's too close to theirs. So like that kind of gives you an example of how they're trying to regroup.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a tough process, and I'm sure that Dwayne Johnson and his ex-wife Danny, I'm sure they have their hands full right now. But it's still in the works. I mean, they're still progressing. It's just not as easy as some people think. So I hope that comes by. I was a season ticket holder for their one inaugural season that we had before the pandemic. So I'm hoping that they'll.
Kobe was like, you think I have an extra football? No. Shut it down.
But I with CP3, I do like a change of pace. I feel like, with the NFL being around so long, people are able to view what they're doing and what they do right, what they do wrong, and kind of make their adjustments. I feel like there's so many people that criticize the NFL, and it's like, okay, well, if you think you can do it better, then do it.
Yeah.
I just hope that these other companies do not run into the problems that some organizations have dealt with in the past with the NFL, kind of like bullying.
Like arena football?
Well, they're kind of partnered up in it together now, right. So it's more of a partnership because it's recognized that it's too many of these players don't have anywhere else to go. You got the CFL, you got a few semi-pro leagues across the country, but you have no other organized entity for these players that need to, showcase their talents and get paid for the stuff that they can still do. Unfortunately, it's not NFL, but still another league. So it's good to see it. They've been trying to work it out with sound like kind of like a semi-pro league because every other sport has a minor league except for football.
Right.
So it's definitely a step in the right direction.
But that'd be good because I remember there's a lot of semi-pro leagues in Maryland. When I used to work at sports, I don't know if they still are, but they used to be.
For football?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are. There's a whole big league, one major one for this area.
Yeah.
One team that a lot of people have family members and friends. We have some mutual friends and old coworkers that were in one particular team that had great success. But there are a lot of leagues that have representation in Maryland, but they're not just in Maryland. Some of them span over like up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
So these teams are able to travel.
Travel, yeah.
But yeah, we do have a lot of similar.
And it'd be good because those people can graduate if they can't get to NFL, but at least they can get to something like XFL or UFS.
Because I've seen some really good players in some of those leagues that we're talking about. And I know some people that really could have gone to the NFL, but we know the percentage of how many people actually go over. So that's good.
Cool. Well, Lady Antoinette, I guess since you won't be here next week, we'll tell you Happy Mother's Day early.
Thank you. I do have some. When I come back, hopefully I'll have which date I'll be. I talked about some of the teams, some of the games that are coming up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some group stuff. So if you are in the DMV area and you're interested in going to the game, you need to hook up on a discount or some group sales and things like that, hit me up. Hit my Instagram, send me a message, lady.antoinette, ANTOINETTEDNV. That's on IG. So just
are you in a skybox or are you like on the line? Or?
Really, there are many group tickets. There's a suite level. You can get suites. I'm not gonna lie, the suites are not cheap, but you can break it down per ticket, so everyone can chip in. And then all the other seats you can get at a group price. So definitely hit me up. But outside of that, I am going to be traveling, so I leave on I leave on Wednesday. Y'all pray for me. My parents decided they were going to go down too, right? They were like, oh, we're going to do the auto train. For those who don't know what the auto train is, we have one that goes from Lorton, Virginia to Florida, right outside of Orlando. And you can put your car on the train. You ride in the car, in the cabin or whatever, and it goes down. Once you get there, they offload your vehicle. You can drive around like normal. So it's a good way to not put your car on the road like that.
Yeah.
However, me and my son decided we're going to just ride the train down with my parents because that's something we've never done, but we're definitely flying back. I do not have time. It is, okay, the drive down there usually takes around 14 hours because it's where my daughter lives, right? She lives in the Orlando area. And that can take about 14 hours. The train ride is about 16. But you can get up, you can walk around. Right, you can get up, you can walk around and stuff like that. So that's cool.
Yeah, they got stops so that you don't stretch your legs and everything.
Well, you can stretch your legs while the train is going.
I mean, get outside and get some fresh air.
Right. And it's this one is of course overnight. So that's actually good too because we can sleep and all that. And they have sleeper cars, they have all that stuff. So me and my son gonna try it. Once we do it, we're gonna be like, we did it, and now we gonna go right on the plane.
Yeah, then you just gonna fly back. No fun.
The Amtrak was cool.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's on Amtrak.
I wonder how much it costs to do the car. That's not a...
Well, so you have your tickets, but you also have the car has a ticket. Now you cannot ride this particular train without a vehicle. You have to be attached to a vehicle. So we would have to kind of be surrounded by my parents and their trip. So when they go down, we're gonna have to, get our tickets with them. So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
But we gonna fly back.
Could that be interesting? I mean, because going to Miami or something like that, you can probably just.
Well, no, I don't think it goes that far down.
Oh, okay.
So once you get to, I think it's Sanford, Florida. Once you get there, you would have to drive to wherever else you go.
Right, the go off.
So, and it's not that far from Orlando, so that's pretty good. But
you should get the sleeper car when you're going along.
Shout out to my man Flip, the producer. He just I think he just moved to Atlanta. He actually was from here. He makes some dope track. He used to work with me back in the day. Old school Blockbuster. But he good kid, always just grinding, just doing this shit.
be down there. It was going for my children for Mother's Day, y'all. So, and then
And Lady Antoinette, aren't you turning like 35 next month?
in June, I've decided to go ahead and turn 35. I will not be here my birthday week. I'm just letting y'all know that now.
Ain't you going to Aruba or something like that?
Yes, I am. I will be in Aruba enjoying myself.
You're not taking a boo thing?
What? First of all, who in the world said I had a boo thing? Let's get that straight.
I mean, you might have a sneaky link.
Even still.
You know you got stalkers.
No, yeah. That's why I can't say what part of Aruba I'm gonna be in. I do not. I don't play that. Don't pop up on me. You get your feelings hurt.
That could be love. If a man wants to pop up on you in Aruba,
like that's why I don't know if y'all ever really pay attention. When I go somewhere to do something, you do not see it on my social media.
Yes, yeah.
If I post it, it'll be after I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because one time I posted something while I was still there, and as I was walking out, I saw someone comment. It was like, I thought that was you. I was gonna come speak. We not friends like that. Like we social media friends. Don't come. I do not want somebody to pop up and hey, I saw you was it.
You don't love your stalkers?
Who do I? I don't play that. No.
But it's gonna be a chill week. I'm on Wednesday. I finished watching the Ozark, and probably insult some people.
Well, you know, what's Wednesday? No, Thursday is Cinco de Mayo, and I'm gonna be in Florida, and I did not plan that, y'all.
I'm getting fucked up.
Why you look like that? And then Doctor Strange is coming out.
I'm going to see Doctor Strange on Saturday morning.
My one, you know, don't make it a secret. My nephews are my babies. Okay, so one of my nephews, his wife is actually graduating while we'll be down there, and he just told me yesterday. He was like, "Auntie, I'm trying to go with y'all." Yes, I know you are. So we're all gonna go as a family.
Aww. Yes. I don't want people to ask me questions, so I'm going to see this one by myself.
No, they don't need to. My family doesn't need to ask me questions. We all know the same information. And we do not play those games. We're serious, okay? So, yeah, we're going to go as a family.
I'm probably going to get my tickets this week, and I'm probably going to do it on Saturday morning.
Yeah. So, that's going to be fun. I'm happy. That's
Catch that. I think I want to do IMAX, too.
I gotta research what's in the area.
I used to love doing IMAX 3D.
Yeah. Well, they don't have it in IMAX 3D.
I don't know. I gotta check.
This is one of those movies you probably should do 3D.
I love those movies like that.
I like it. Certain movies, the action movies, especially something like Doctor Strange, like he's gonna be throwing stuff and it's gonna come at you.
The only thing that makes me sad about these movies is the person who used to go to movies when we used to see these things was GOP. So, you know, we were always big on Marvel, so all the Marvel movies are all.
But you gotta carry on the tradition.
Man, yeah.
And me and my kids, we tend to not to miss Marvel stuff together. So with my daughter being in.
I could probably get my brother. My brother could go. Yeah. Even Renegade will go because he understands most of the shit.
Right.
Because he was raised, his uncle, you know, read the comic books all day long.
That's how I feel about my nephew. He knows. Like, we're not playing. So that should be fun. What you doing Cinco de Mayo, typically?
What's that say? It's Thursday.
Finding a potential baby mama.
Possibly. Thursday I'll be watching playoff game, Capitals. And
are you gonna be watching that at home?
It depends on if I get my commission check. If I get my check, I might go out and talk to a boss.
Yeah, because that's Cinco de Mayo and the playoff game. Come on now, that's a lovely, energetic vibe.
Yeah, depends on my check is. All that matters. If not, I'll be at home sipping on the cold Buddy White watching that.
I think you should drink some tequila.
I need some female companionship. I ain't trying to be sitting in the house with a bottle of tequila by myself. That's not a good look.
You don't have to drink the whole bottle, you know.
That's the way it starts out, man. I know that when I start.
Oh my goodness.
And then after it's over, then I'm like, damn, why'd I drink that whole bottle?
That's a problem. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's what
When you by yourself, man, me and my dog just be chilling. He don't drink, so somebody gotta drink from my
He don't drink.
You know what?
I'm glad Taylor doesn't drink.
Alright, we're over it. We're out.
We're gonna have Peter on that.
We're out. We're out.
First dog that don't smoke a drink.
What? Hey.
Hey. I'm muting the mics. I'm playing the video. We're done.
It's so like this hard.
Young turn bitch, all I do is get money. Hoes in they feelings cause I ran up 100 eating greedy. I'ma chase a bag till I'm rich. If he ain't spinning cheese, then he ain't getting shit. Hoes be so pressed, but they used to be fans. This loyal ass bitch throwing shade to my mans. Hoes in your face, whole time they be slimy. Screaming that they real, but they steady moving grimy. Fuck the sweet talk, man, I'm done being nice. I cut the nigga off, I ain't saying shit twice. Left the pussy nigga, now his ass wanna fight. Nigga think he hard, what your name is? I be busting down pros, bout to catch the next flight. Yo bitch in my wood, I was choking all night. Finna pull me up an eighth, I gotta grab me a Sprite. Cup real muddy, put the walk on ice. My palms stay itching like a head full of light. I keep the strap on me like I ran through dirt. I ain't never been a bitch and I ain't never got hold your baby daddy on my dick cause my knot won't fold. Don't even let him touch your pussy cause I heard he told. Back and forth to the H, I stay on the road. Scoring zips to the Zop, but I'm dropping the bows. Jugging and finessing, trying to get shit sold. Bitch, all I do is get money. Hoes in they feelings cause I ran up 100 eating greedy. I'ma chase the bag till I'm rich. If he ain't spilling cheese, then he ain't getting shit.
Boss ass bitch, all I do is talk business. Seen a lot of shit, but I ain't never been a witness. Nigga wanna hit the road for some pros, I ain't splitting. Chasing out in the bag and run up digits, no fitness. Wanna touch 100, bitch, you gotta have some hustle. Don't get mad when I say this, know you hoes like to tussle. That nigga that you fucking ain't getting no cheese. Got the plug on the walk and he still sipping green. What that mean? I don't know, you tell me. Spent 1,000 on his shoes, he ain't got it in his jeans, out of pocket. Bank empty just like his wallet. That's the dick that you sit on every morning, bitch, you wild. I been getting hate from these hoes since a child. Say I'm acting funny, they ain't see me in a while. Try to call me fake, I'ma crack a smile. I'm the realest bitch around, trying to make $1 million pop. Keep a roll on me, I can never stop flexing. On your best day, bitch, I still get more attention. Niggas on my head for not responding to their message. I'm driving through the mountains, dog, I barely got reception.
Young turn bitch, all I do is get money. Hoes in they feelings cause I ran up 100 eating greedy. I'ma chase a bag till I'm rich. If he ain't spinning cheese, then he ain't getting shit. Weird ass nigga.
Okay, ayy, don't violate. Yeah, you know I taught you better. You know if we put our minds together, we can get this cheddar. We gon' get whatever you desire. I ain't worried about these little pipsqueaks, they know I'm higher. I'm feeling like a giant. Shawty, she think I'm flyer. She digging my attire. Shawty, she look like Maya. She say her body's like, whoa, well shit, I'm trying to try it. After we finish in that back room smoking exotic. I ain't playing no games, I ain't got time to waste. If you down with the team, then let me hear you scream. Big paper chasers, we some bosses, you know what I mean. We like the Wu-Tang Clan, we all about the cream. You know I'm one of the best, you know my music mean. And when I make it, I'm a ball like I'm Mr. Clean. This stick here by my side and just peep the scene. I promise you gon' get higher than you been in your dreams. When we over here, we be smoking good. When we over here, we be smoking good. Hey, don't violate. Yeah, you know I taught you better. Hey, don't violate. Yeah, you know I taught you better. Hey, don't violate. Over here, you know I taught you better. Hey, don't violate. Yeah, you know I taught you better. Yeah, you know we smoking good, yeah, just like we should. We can roll it up in the sheets and funnel roll wood. But don't you get it twisted, it's all about production. If you don't think we bout that money, then you fucking lunching. So don't violate, I can have you onto something. My ambition is motivation, see, I know you love it. She get the change from you lames, then bring it to me. We take a trip to the bank while smoking this weed. J's fat as can be, nigga, that's BPC. This album like a P, I'm about to feed the streets. This shit is gasoline, Michael Jack, Billie Jean. No, she is not my lover, I fuck with Mary Jane. I do it for my stoners, I had to do it, man. This shit a fucking vibe, come fly up on my plane. The king of stoner music, it's time for my reign. Swear when you hear this shit, you gon' play it again. When we over here, we be smoking good. When we over here, we be smoking good. Hey, don't violate, yeah, you know I told you better. Hey, don't violate, yeah, you know I told you better. Hey, don't violate, yeah, you know I told you better.